Welcome to Dresden, where we come to drive this, the all-new Civic Type R. So what do you need to know? Well, firstly, it's priced at 31 grand, although you'll need to find another couple of £1,000 for this GT model. At a 310 brake also, it's a bang-on rival for the Golf R. So granted, the Golf's a four-wheel drive car, where the Civic still puts its power to the road via the front wheels. But other than that, it's almost like the two cars were separated at birth. Yeah, right, whatever. I mean, whereas the Golf's all kind of smooth lines and subtle, this thing's an absolute riot. I mean, check out this scoop on the bonnet, huge air dam at the front end, carbon fibre, these big 20-inch alloy wheels, massive wing on the back, these winglets on the roof, not to mention these three massive pipes back here. So, perhaps the worst thing about the old Type R was the driving position. It was clearly awful. Basically, you sat too high, you had to have the steering wheel on your lap to see the dials. And even then, you never felt at one with the car. Everything's changed with this new car. They've relocated the petrol tank to the rear, so they get the seats much lower, and you can get the steering wheel in a really neat position and still see the clocks. So it's absolutely bang on. And these Recaro seats are really supportive, and they look absolutely spectacular. Okay, so first impressions of the Type R. Well, initially, just as you drive away, it's a little bit disappointing actually, because the steering feels quite compliant, quite mushy. Can't really feel what the front wheels are up to. But as you build the speed up, it actually starts to come to you. Get a bit more weighting. In fact, it's quite heavily weighted. I was suspecting that it might be too light, but the holding torque on it is quite high. So it's starting to give us some real feel, some real bite, so you know what the front wheels are up to. So the thing about really high-powered front-wheel drive cars is they tend to suffer from torque steer quite a lot. But the R is quite well isolated from this. So basically, once you give it the absolute beans, the steering wheel actually stays pretty true. So perhaps the most impressive thing about the new car is the way it rides. And I'm not just talking about it from a comfort point of view. Yes, it is more comfortable. Yes, it uses a more sophisticated rear axle, multi-link suspension rather than the old twist beam. So yeah, there's going to have more comfort, plus it's got adaptive dampers in it as well. But it's not only from a ride comfort perspective. It also means the car is far more supple in corner. So it sits and it grips and it turns much sweeter than the old car. It's effectively the same engine that was in the old car. It's still a 2-litre, it's still a 4-cylinder, still making just over 310 brake horse. But Honda have done an awful lot of work to the engine, okay? So they've lightened all the internals, so it revs much quicker, and it actually punches so hard to the rev line, you've got to be quick on the draw with a gear shift, otherwise you're just going to go boom, 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 boom into the limit. So there are three driving modes in the Type R. It's Comfort, which speaks for itself what it does, and then you have Sport mode, which sharpens the throttle, deepens the exhaust note, just makes the car feel more alive. And then you've got R, which is basically, once again, everything's heightened. Dash turns you red to let you know this. And here we go. The car just picks up so much more aggressively. Yeah, suffice to say, it's not slow. I won't even tell you what sort of numbers were coming up on the speedo there, and that was just in third gear. So, what do we think? Well, if you're expecting this car to be an evolution of the car that went before, then you're going to be disappointed, but in a good way. This car is so much better in every respect. It's mainly down to the chassis. It's far more supple. The car's got more grip. It's more direct on turning. The driving position is absolutely wonderful too. So all in all, the car gives you so much interaction, so much more confidence, and so much more enjoyment. We absolutely love it.